Welcome everyone in to Martinsville, Virginia for this evening's running of the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series on iRacing. Amazing racetrack here, Martinsville Speedway, half a mile oval in Martinsville, Virginia. Virginia's for lovers, but we're not going to be seeing many lovers on the racetrack tonight. It's going to be a bunch of haters. Everybody's going to be frustrated. Everybody's going to be irritated, and we're going to have a couple hurt feelings by the end of the night, and a couple bumpers might get thrown. We saw that happen last week at Richmond in real life. We might see a couple here tonight on the iRacing service. I'm your only commentator tonight, Austin Edstrom, alongside my good buddy Nolan Rimple, who's still under the weather. This man just cannot feel good. I don't know what's going on with my buddy here, but hopefully he can be all good for this weekend's action that we've got coming up for you on Green Flag TV. But looking up at our schedule here, the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series, April 4th, Martinsville Speedway. That is tonight. We got 150 laps on offer for you here tonight from the Martinsville Speedway. And then next weekend, or sorry, I should say next week on Thursday, obviously, Texas Motor Speedway. And then the week after that, Talladega, Dover, Kansas, Darlington, ending off the regular season for the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. And then Chicagoland Speedway kicks off the playoffs, and these are the point standings coming into the final couple of races here of the regular season. Only the top 7 make the chase here in the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. So checking out that cutoff line, only 11 points separating Kevin Cantonio and Carlton Charles on that last position. And honestly, there's two people I feel like that are under a lot of pressure right now, and that's Josh McDougall and Kevin Cantonio, very, very close to that cut line. And there are a lot of guys within 20 points of that cut line. Five drivers all with an opportunity to pass one of those two out. And even the guys 36, 41, 42, 46, everybody from second on back, honestly, if they have one bad race, can really set themselves up for failure in terms of making the playoffs. So everybody up in the top 7 or so having to be careful, except for maybe Ryan Shelton. And then everybody behind the line there, you saw everybody just stacked up. Honestly, everybody behind the line is very, very stacked up to it. And just about anybody could punch their way into the playoffs here over the next couple of races. We do have a super speedway in there as well, so you never know how crazy it could get. Here at the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series, and the broadcast tonight by Green Flag TV is brought to you by, obviously, Tires Plus Total Car Care. At Tires Plus, we know tires, but we understand that you may not. And that's perfectly okay, because it's our job to work with you to figure out what tire options may work best for your vehicle, driving style, and budget. We do this by offering a range of suggestions from good to better to best, and then we give you the room to choose. We also make tire buying easy with the ability to shop, get a quote, and schedule installation online. We are here for the duration of rotations and repairs to your vehicle as well. From simple oil changes to brakes and alignments, including your ADAS sensors, we don't believe in performing unnecessary repairs. We'll tell you what is best to be taken care of now and what can wait. Because at the end of the day, it's your car and always your call. Big thank you to Tires Plus, as always, for sponsoring the Tires Plus Cup Series. And big thank you to Max Graphics as well, also a sponsor here of the Tires Plus Cup Series. Max Graphics has all of your graphic design needs, from NASCAR to sim racing, logos, banners, posters, t-shirt design, and other commercial uses. Find out more at facebook.com/Max Graphics Design, graphics with an X, not CS. Also want to give out a big shout out to Brookstone Animal Hospital. Brookstone Animal Hospital is a AAHA accredited full-service veterinary medical boarding and grooming facility serving Metro Atlanta. Their mission is to provide modern and up-to-date medicine while tailoring our care to the individual needs of each animal and owner. They strive to support and nurture the health and well-being of all animals and treat our clients and their pets as members of our family. Visit brookstonevet.com to schedule your appointment today. Other sponsors include Twisted Steel Steak Appeal, Sim Wrap Market, Admin Box, McConey Setup Shop, Beer Street Journal, Firestone, and J&R Craftworks. Unfortunately, it seems like I'm having trouble with my R's tonight, so that is not going to be that's not going to be a lot of fun here at Martinsville. But we'll get it. We'll get at it. We are going to take a quick look here of our starting lineup. I do believe we're about a minute and a half from this thing getting rolling. So I think we're going to maybe check out our starting lineup. And as it comes up on the screen, we're going to see Joseph Kazi up on the front step, or up on the top step here, winning the pole at Martinsville by, 4.5 hundredths of a second over Ryan Shelton. Great lap there from Kazi to take the pole. Shane Weinmiller in 3rd, Jason Garcias in 4th, Kevin Cantonio 5th, Martin Plute 6th, Emmett Lindquist in 7th, Josiah Benson in 8th, Josh Emerson 9th, Christopher Darling rounds out the top 10, Ben Mashburn, Debbie Pirog, Michael Mooney, TJ Allman, Doug Miller, that's the top 15. Aaron Mack starts 16th with Josh McDougall in 17th, Stan Hausman 18th, Mark McFadden in 19th, and Travis Ide in 20th. I have a bit of a field this week. 21st, Mike Morkrid. 22nd, Micah McReynolds. 23rd, Andrew Levier. 24th is Jason Shue. 25th, Tim Branson. And 26th, Corey Hutchinson. Hopefully I don't mess up Levier all night tonight. Last week, filling in, I couldn't even remember how to say it. I kept saying LaVille all night because I couldn't remember. It was a little Frenchy there at the end of it, but hopefully this week we'll have it a little bit tightened up here on the Green Flag TV booth for you. We had a bit of a crazy race, I'd say, last week at Richmond. There was a lot going on, and we saw a lot of ARCA braking and a couple of those cautions. So it makes me nervous for tonight. I'm not gonna lie, because this is Martinsville. Man, this is a crazy racetrack, to say the least, on the iRacing service. Whenever you get a good group of guys out there, though, it can be absolutely phenomenal. So I'm hoping to see some of that tonight. With 26 drivers out here, and all of these guys vying for the same bit of real estate out on the racetrack, it's going to be tough. Joseph Ghazi going to lead us down to the front straightaway for the first time tonight. And he's going to take the green flag, get the better jump over the 99, just barely. And he leads us down to the green flag for the first time tonight for Martinsville in the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. 2x2 all throughout the field. Coming through turns 1 and 2, a couple cars all the way out by the wall. Definitely not the groove you would like to be in here at Martinsville. A couple 3-wide instances diving down into turn number 3. Saw a couple people trying to make a move. Bottom line seems to be a little bit more prevalent currently. The 73 going past the 46 of Pirog here, coming out of turn number 2. Still heavy battling all throughout the field, just on the second lap coming into turn 3. Plute is at the 81 of Plute going around, gets tagged by the 46, and that's going to be caution number 1. Through the middle of 3 and 4, Plute just got a little nudge, and that's all it takes. And that's all it's going to take all night. So with these next gen cars, especially under braking, man, I'm telling you, just get a little bump on that left rear wherever that car's light, and it's just going to lazy spin like that. Unfortunate break in the early going for Plute. Luckily, he didn't lose too many spots, but still, you don't really want to get turned from running for a top 5 potential position in the early going. Maybe just back half of the top 10. Gets hit in the left front there, and that worries me a little bit because it was right into the wheel well. So I'd be worried that he could have damaged the tire in some form or fashion. Come down into turn 3. This might get us a better view exactly where the 46 got him. And he got him in the left front fender. It didn't look like it was too much tire contact. So Plute might end up being all right. You just really don't want to damage the suspension on the on any of the tires on this next gen vehicle. There's actually might have been a little bit of netcode contact between the 81 and 73 as well. Taking a look at our upcoming shows here on Green Flag TV. April 6th, TNGG IEL Truck Series round number 5 from the Watkins Glen International Speedway. Man, I freaking love that racetrack. Watkins Glen is so amazing. That's going to be an awesome show on April 6th at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. April 7th, Classic IndyCar Series round number 2 from the Sonoma Raceway. Taking a couple weeks off, that Classic IndyCar Series was. But we got the first race of it a couple weeks ago from COTA, and man, it was absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to get that one going on Sunday. That's going to come at you live at 1:50 p.m. Eastern. And then also, on that same exact day, Nolan Ripple's going to be working double duty, as long as his voice is better by then. He's going to be working the ASRL Next Gen Cup Series round number 9 from the Darlington Raceway. That will be at 7:25 p.m. Eastern. So, Sunday, Nolan, you're going to be busy, buddy. So the first caution of the night comes out on, it was lap number 2, right? So, I'll be honest, I called a race that was the same amount of laps. There was a Truck Series race on Tuesday, and they had a wreck on lap number 1. So this race at least got one more lap. And so it leaves me a little bit more hopeful for this one. That one had 20 cautions in 150 laps. Tonight, looking for a little bit better out of the Speed Tires Plus guys. Joseph Kazi leads us back down to that green flag again in the Geico restart zone. Easily takes the lead this time. Every restart from now on will be on the leaders of this one. A little bit easier for Kazi. Shelton not able to put up the fight. Just about got to his back bumper coming out of turn 2, but falls off ever so slightly from the 24. Garcia's taking that third place position away from Weinmiller in the number 9. Shane Weinmiller moving backwards after starting in the third place position. Garcias started in 4th. He's up 1 spot. A little bit further back to 46, involved in that last caution. Oh, and then we might have another one coming out of turn number 2. Our 40, is that Josh McDougall in the Spotify car? Yeah, he got turned, or something happened to him out of turn. What was it, turn 4? And, oh, it was turn 2. Well, man, I gotta pay better attention, I guess. I don't know, it's silly. 12-hour workday's getting to me, but yeah, coming out of turn number 2. 45, getting just about 3 wide through the middle of the corner, and is it the 28 that just kind of washed up into his left rear? 26? I couldn't quite tell. Shelton holding on to that second place position. Kazi really pulling out that lead here in the early, going out to over 9/10 of a second, over a second, after just about 5 laps on the green flag stand. So Joseph Kazi doing absolutely amazing, running that bottom line all the way around the racetrack, keeping that number 24 up front. The 62 tags the wall, comes back down, hits the 39 and spins him back into the outside fence. Lap number 2 gonna come out on lap number 12 down the back straightaway. Well, Stan Hausman has every right to be very frustrated with that one. Travis Hyde, I don't know if he actually got the fence. I don't think he did. I think he just got loose coming out of the corner. Kind of reacting to the guy way out of the groove in front of him too. Maybe that put him off, but he comes down and just gets the right rear quarter panel of the 39, and Stan Hausman really had nowhere to go and no way to react to that, right? I mean, you'd have to have some kind of foresight to be able to figure out that you're going to get reared out, or right rear coming out of turn 2 whenever you're given a whole lane and a half coming out of the corner. But hey, that's what happens, man. These next-gen cars get crazy loose coming out of the corners of Martinsville if you put the throttle down just a little bit too hard, too early. So not too surprised to see a couple mistakes here in the early going coming out of the corners. Working lap number 14. Joseph Kazi still out in the race lead. Not really too surprising. It's going to be hard for anybody to really make that pass for the lead tonight. I mean, you're going to have to see some off-strategy call or one of our faster guys really get put to the back, because I just feel like it's so tough to pass at Martinsville already. And typically, you kind of wait for the tires to wear. Maybe the second place guy saves tires a little bit as the first guy runs off in the distance, but problem with Martinsville is, typically the guy runs off into the distance and then the caution comes out, so you can never really get down to using those tires, and you get that heat cycle to come and just kind of sets the tires back at least somewhat close to even, to where that leader still has the advantage, especially with the restart being such an advantage for the race leaders. So be interesting to see if we can get one of those really long green flag runs that can sometimes pop up here at Martinsville. If that happens, I mean, anything goes. I could definitely see plenty of crazy racing at that point. And passes for the lead, especially with the tires wearing, but with it being consistent cautions, it just becomes a little bit harder to see that happening for sure. Lights on the pace car still on, so we still got 2 more pace laps coming around. I've ran a fair amount of races here with Joseph Kazi up in the race lead. I was surprised to see his name on the entry list tonight for the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series, because I had not seen him in the couple other ones that I've got to see. But I've raced with him on a couple teams, and man, that guy's rapid. Not really too surprised to see him pull out that second lead over Shelton at the beginning. I know that Kazi's crazy quick, but I also happen to know that he's a little mistake prone. So just a little heads up to all the viewers out there. You might see that 24 wreck himself. I don't want to put any bad mojo out there for him, but I kind of like commentating cursing people. It's kind of become like my thing, right? Like whenever I start talking about potential spins and then somebody wrecks coming out of the corner, it's just like it's so great. I don't know what to tell you. Just feeling like you had something to do with it, even though you really didn't. It's great. So hopefully Kazi goes spinning out of one of these restarts. If the commentator curse comes true. I'm sure he'll give me an earful for that later. But Joseph Kazi, for now, leads the way. Coming through turns 3 and 4. Gonna be able to come through the Geico restart zone in front of Ryan Shelton and take the lead, obviously. Once again, easily getting down to the start-finish line, taking it back. Down into turn number 1, Joseph Kazi dives down to the bottom of the racetrack, easily in the race lead as they're still 2 by 2 behind. Everybody fighting for position. These cautions really open up the door for everybody to swap positions back and forth and really give yourself a chance to move through the field if you're further back in the field. The only problem is if you're in second or third, it's almost impossible to get up to the race leader with just how good of a jump they get on every single restart. This time, though, Shelton doing a little bit better. Able to hold with Kazi a little bit nicer as the 9 is way out of the groove. That's Weinmiller in the 9. Again, just about missing the concrete patch. You don't really want to be all the way to the outside of the concrete patch. That's not good, but you really, really don't want to be out on the asphalt out there. If you put 2 right side tires on the asphalt, nah, your corner's killed. Oh, that's not a way to have it either. The 88 goes spinning, stopped in the middle of the racetrack, and the caution finally comes out. Oh, under caution on the front straightaway. Who in the world just went head on into the wall? Emerson in the 73 just went hard head on into the outside fence coming out of turn number 4 under yellow. I don't what happened? I don't really know what to say about that one. We're gonna look at Michael Mooney first, the 88. See exactly what happened into turn 1 and 2. 31 a little wide. 83 just kind of reacting and just getting a little loose. Lazy spin, gets it righted, but unfortunately he was stopped on the racetrack. Caution comes out. And then the caution's been out. Or sorry, no, this is actually replaying that accident from the outside here for the 88. Aaron Mack locked up on the inside a little bit, put the 88 off. And unfortunately for him, it just kind of came around on the outside. Michael Mooney. And now we're going to look at the 73. This is what I'm really interested in. What in the world happened to the 73 under caution? Coming out of turn number 4. Everything looks fine here. Oh. I was really hoping he got wrecked. Because that's tough. But hey, I mean, they have a fast repair, right? So it's okay. Maybe he just wanted to get rid of his fast. No, they don't have a fast repair. So never mind. They don't have fast repairs. I'm stupid. So no, never mind. I don't really know. That's tough break for Emerson here in the early going. This is gonna be a heck of a view. Whoa. Dude, the next gen cars, whenever I'm so confused at this. I'm trying to wrap my head around this because yeah, he's trying to warm tires a little bit. Our producer's pointing that out too. But he's not hard swerving, but the weight transfer coming out of turn number 4, it's like the rear end got light and he's doing that little tug. And I've seen it time and time again. Where you turn to the right and for some reason the car just gets completely unsavable loose and turns hard right. So I don't know McDougal really playing games. That's hilarious. But it's just weird. The next gen car has some very, very weird characteristics whenever you have that tug to the right and you have that loose condition, and all of a sudden it's like all of the weight just gets transferred to the left rear quarter panel. And, well, I mean, literally all the weight of the car gets transferred to the, not left rear, what am I thinking of? The right front quarter panel, and it just takes a hard right into the outside fence. It's so weird, so strange. And that's what we saw there from 73, but that was even weirder because it was under caution, so. He does still have his position, though, as he's in the outside of row number 3, so not too much damage, I guess. He didn't come down and fix it anyway. But 73 still lined up in P6 even after that hit to the outside fence under yellow. Joshua, what in the world? Joshua Kazi bringing us back to the green flag. Excuse me. First time Garcias is really putting a heavy challenge on the 99. They were side by side last time, but Shelton was able to win it out, that battle, and take the P2 spot. But this time Garcias looks a little more feisty down on the inside coming out of turn number 4. The 99 still with a good run. Heavy on the brakes, very, very late. The 15, super late on the brakes. Thought he was going to completely miss the corner. Somehow wraps it around the outside of the concrete. Keeps it on the racetrack. Shelton, though, up a little bit higher, able to take the second place spot. That 15 is flying around the outside right now. Oh, the 11! Chris Darling, coming out of turn number 4, saves it. Was able to hold on to it. I think that was going to be another caution. Honestly, it probably would have helped Chris Darling if it didn't, but he did the admiral thing, saving that thing, keeping the green flag out. But again, it was coming out of the corner. It's just the lazy spins. It feels like it wants to come back to the right on you, and you have absolutely no control over it. Oh, Kazi. Kazi got twitchy through 1 and 2. I thought he was going to give up the lead to Shelton. We're looking at Stan Hausman on the outside of Michael Mooney. A little bit further up. That was Levier getting a little heavy on the brakes in return number 1. A little too heavy on the brakes. And again, you can't put the 2 tires to the outside of the concrete. It just prevents the car from turning. We saw that time from Levier. You got to stay in the concrete no matter what, whether you're 2x2 or not. And you got somebody to your inside, you got to stay on it or else you are going to be crazy slow through the center of the corner. Chris Darling tried to make up some spots after his mistake, putting himself back up into the top 20. He was running top 5 before that half spin coming out of turn number 4 just a couple laps ago. Going to be a long night for the 11, trying to make it all back. Oh, the 40 high out of turn number 2. Able to hold on to it. That was Lindquist back in 15th. Then the 92 Branson. Looks like he's going to take a spot. Morkrid way out high. Oh, spinning on the front straightaway. The 6. It stopped sideways. Just shy of the flag stand. That's Doug Milliner. Spun it coming out of turn number 4. '23 of Ben Mashburn right in front of him. 6 getting put off. The 51 maybe coming through the bottom. No, I think the 6 just got loose coming on the outside. Yep. Got a little too high. Too much wheel put into it. Clobbered the 51. Oh, and the 51 lost his front bumper, unfortunately, and took heavy contact to the right front tire. So Doug Milliner, Josiah Vincent, I believe in his first race in the Speed Tires. Or, sorry, Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. So unfortunately his debut not going well in the 51. He'll have plenty of time to get that stuff fixed on pit road, but still you don't want to have that big contact and get sent to the back of the pack and have to just sit forever on pit road to get damage repair. Fortunately for him, nothing he really did wrong there. Just major impact of that right front tire. And I got to be honest, especially with the wall hit, if I was Josiah Vincent, I'd probably call it quits because he more than likely has got some toe damage that they're not going to be able to fix behind pit wall. We're going to use this opportunity to take our first commercial break of the evening. Be sure to stick with us. On the other side, we're going to have a bunch more racing in the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series from the Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. Joseph Kazi's led every single lap so far. Working lap number 37. We've got Jason Garcia, who's taking that second place position away. I'm trying to find Ryan Shelton. Ryan Shelton actually back in 9th place. I don't quite know what happened to the 99 that has shuffled him out of that second place position. He was solidly in there, but I'll have to take a look whenever I have him. Joseph Kazi leading us back down to the green flag. Garcia easily takes that second place spot, coming down into turn number 1, the 15. Kevin Cantonio, who's been working that outside groove really, really well so far tonight, is up to that 3rd place spot. Still runs a little bit higher through the entry of the corner than the one in front of him, and then ducks it back down on the exit. Kind of giving himself an opportunity to perhaps get a good run out of the corner and make a move to the inside. The 83 just about gets nudged by the 99 of Ryan Shelton, getting down into turn number 1. 22, narrow coming out of the corner. A little nervy there with the 40. Oh, is that smoke in front? I could have swore I saw smoke. I think maybe the 83 got a little sideways. He was able to save it. Might have gotten another nudge from Ryan Shelton there. TJ Allman, but ultimately no harm, no foul. Just drops a couple positions. 22 runs it narrow off of turn number 2 again, and right rears the 40 into the outside fence. I don't even know who the 22... Oh, it's McFadden. Okay. I could not find the 22 anywhere on my timing and scoring. Looking at Allman here, coming through 1 and 2. This was after, I believe, that issue with... Oh! Yeah, just behind. Trying to catch what happened to Allman that made him lose a couple spots. Shelton into turn number 1, almost gets him to the back bumper. Clean between the two there through 1 and 2, and then down into turn number 3. Shows his nose, really drives it in there deep on the brakes, loses the back end a little bit. I gotta be honest, the 99's on the apron. His left side tires are touching the white and red lines, and Allman kind of came down. And I'm gonna be straight up with you. You cannot run that line coming out of the corner if you're on the outside wall, if you're Mark McFadden in the 22. The 40 has the nose advantage, and McFadden just didn't use the racetrack. So I feel terrible for Emmett Lindquist, because he did absolutely nothing wrong, and he gets his front bumper just completely taken off, making a pass here through turns 1 and 2. As soon as this camera turns to the right, you're going to see the 22 just never comes out of the corner. I mean, there's an entire lane of a racetrack to his right. Instead, he turns left and doesn't let the 40 come out of the corner. Takes out a couple other drivers in it as well. Ben Mashburn in the 23 getting involved. The 92, Tim Branson as well. So ends up being a pretty hefty accident coming out of turn number 2. Get a good view here. Is on board. Just look at all the racetrack to the right. Well, I mean, there's plenty of racetrack to the right. And fortunately, Mark McFadden just didn't use it. And the 40 gets sent head on into the fence. That's probably be a great view too. Not really anything you can do there, and nothing for I believe that was Branson there either in the 92, just getting shoved to the inside fence. So that actually might have been Mashburn in the 23. It was Mashburn, actually. My apologies. Working lap number 44 on the racetrack currently. Joseph Kazi, still the race leader. And we are taking 1 to green this time by, so Kazi will get us back to green flag racing here in 1 lap's time. I believe that we do have our first DNF of the evening, as Ben Mashburn has disconnected from the race. I think that last caution may have done a little bit more damage to the 23 than I had initially feared. Unfortunately, he has decided to take it behind pit wall and call it quits here tonight. Up towards the front of the field, though, Joseph Kazi going to be coming to the green flag on lap number 46. Easily takes it, coming under the green flag. away from Garcias. Garcias will be just happy enough with that second place spot for now. Just about gets to the back bumper of the 24. Elects not to give him a little knock in through the middle of the corner and just keep it rolling nice and steady as the 15 and 9 are side by side. Cantonio, Weinmiller side by side through 3 and 4. 15's been working well on the outside of the racetrack here, stuck on the inside. Can he keep the position from Shane Weinmiller there on the outside? Or can Weinmiller get back into that preferred P3 position for the restarts? Oh, the 15 goes hard at the outside fence, then gets turned by Weinmiller down to the inside wall. Big stack up on the back straightaway. Oh boy, 31 Aaron Mack up into the outside fence into turn number 3. Just, it's weird. This next gen cars, man, coming out of the corners. I'm telling you, we're gonna see it time and time again tonight. This is exactly what just happened here. They don't turn right off the corners well at all. If you have to turn right, they just die. They wreck. You can't get loose in these things coming out of these corners, else you will overcorrect to the right and lose all control of your vehicle and not have a chance. That's exactly what we saw there from the 15. I don't understand the weight transfer in these things, man. It's just so unnatural feeling whenever you have that type of oversteer. I'm telling you, I felt it a million times with this next gen car. It's something I've never felt in any other racing vehicle. Maybe at least on the ovals, and maybe it's because this car's symmetrical, perfectly symmetrical. You know, the old cars and even the Xfinity and trucks are asymmetrical. They really throw that right rear quarter panel out into the air to get as much downforce as possible, to get as much side force as possible. They can let spoiler get out there a little bit farther as well. So you're just creating a lot more downforce. But with this symmetrical body, you're not really getting that. So you're not getting the air hitting the right rear to keep it into place perfectly. So as soon as it goes a little bit too far, maybe it just doesn't have anything to push back against. Like, it can't push back against the air like the old car could. And I feel like that's what we're seeing on a lot of these incidents, and I've seen it on multiple other racetracks, but Martinsville, with being such slow corners, might be the worst one for it. Allman getting a little bit of damage on the front end. Just weird, going down the back straightaway, everything seems totally fine, and then all of a sudden, halfway down the back, all of a sudden, smoke, car sideways. Typically, you're fine once you're halfway down the straightaway, but that time the wreck started a little bit later. Doug Milliner was involved in the incident before the previous one, I believe. Towards the back of the pack, P24 got his lucky dog that last caution. So he's now only 1 lap down instead of 2. The accident that he was involved in had him 2 laps down. So Milliner getting one of those back. Got to think that he's going to get the other one back relatively soon, as the lights on the iRacing pace car are out. Working lap number 52 here for Joseph Kazi. Shelton back up to the front row, with Weinmiller and Cantonio off of the second row. That really opens up a lot of options for a couple other guys back here. Jason Garcias, I believe, elected to pit that time. Now he's all the way back towards the back as well. Kazi and Shelton side by side in the restart zone. Kazi easily gets the jump. Going to take the lead down into turn number 1. All clean and green through 1 and 2. A little bit of tire smoke coming down into turn number 3. The 40 side by side with the 62. Almost 3 wide there through the middle of the corner. Just about 3 wide coming off. It is 3 wide coming off. Oh, the 31 pitches the 51 into the outside wall. He goes spinning back down the racetrack onto the apron. Nobody else involved. But they were 3 wide down the front straightaway, and I think the 31 just drove up the track. Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. He He just door checked them down the middle of the straightaway. So the 51 of Vincent getting a little roughhoused here in his debut in the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. He's 3 wide, can't go to the top, and the 31 just kind of turns right. I'm so confused. That was just so weird. He definitely had more room to his outside that he could have given the 31, but I don't know. I definitely wouldn't turn right. Turn right down the straightaway. Either way, a couple guys making pit stops here on lap number 56. I got to think the strategy call would be probably to pit on one of these cautions within the next 10 or so laps, and then not pitting in whatsoever for the rest of the race. And if you're Joseph Kazi, you might just not pit whatsoever at all. You might just want to hold on to that track position and keep that number 1 spot out on the racetrack. I feel like that probably puts you in the driver's seat with the restarts. As we see Doug Milner get his second lap back on the lead lap for Doug Milner. We're going to use this opportunity to let you guys know that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Beer Street Journal, one of the largest online collections of original content dedicated to covering beer culture, education, and the advancement of the beer industry. With thousands of articles, millions of unique visitors, and exposure in over 200 countries, Beer Street Journal is paving the way to enabling category growth, engaging a broader consumer base, and promoting better tasting beer for years to come. BeerStreetJournal.com, the best in beer. Tonight's broadcast is also brought to you by Twisted Steel Steak Appeal. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal by Marty Plute has a solid punch of sweet and a heat flavor that lingers to let you know it is there. Marty Plute is an award-winning Steak Cook-Off Association competition steak cook, and he has finally revealed his secret resting rub that will blow you away with flavor. Steak, veggies, fish, pork, and poultry. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal is a rub above the rest. Green Flag TV would also like to thank J&R Craftworks. J&R Craftworks is your source for custom iRacing awards. From full-color personalized mouse pads to laser-cut wood and acrylic trophies and plaques, J&R has something for any budget. They also offer a variety of wood, acrylic, and resin decorations and craft items. And they are proud to work with several different iRacing leads, including Speed. Check them out at jnrcraftworks.com. Other sponsors of the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series include Simrap Market, McConey Setup Shop, Admin Box, Max Graphics, Brookstone Animal Hospital, Firestone, and last but certainly not least, Tires Plus Total Car Care. Tires and service that keep you in the driver's seat. Big thank you to all those sponsors for allowing us to put on this show week in and week out, allowing us to put on this race from the Martinsville Speedway here tonight. Joseph Kazi looking to win that thing. He's trying to bring it home in the 24. Led every single lap so far. The first 59 have gone the way of the 24. Joseph Kazi coming out of turn 4. Leading us back down to that green flag, and it's flying in the air. Kazi easily jumps out to the race lead once again over Shelton. And they're side by side for third is the 73, trying to dive it in on TJ Allman. Emerson with that right front damage, even that he got under caution. Trying to make it work, but unfortunately not quite able to do it as Allman takes the position. And right behind them, I don't know how, but Chris Darling's in 5th. Oh, and we've got an accident in 3 and 4. Who's that stuck in the outside fence? It is the 102 of Michael McReynolds, unfortunately, through 3 and 4. Gonna get a quick look on the replay of exactly what happened coming down into turn number 3 for McReynolds. Coming out of turn 2, everything's pretty fine here, running about 8th place in the 102. Good run there for McReynolds at the time. Really high in the corner, and Levier missed his braking zone and got the right rear of the 102. Pretty straightforward that time. Gonna give you guys another look here at normal speed. Yeah, it's like the 26 tried to kill him, and then he got finished off by the 15. Why did the 15 turn hard right in the middle of the corner and finish him off while he was up at the wall? It's a little interesting. Yeah, he turned right. I don't know what that was from Kevin Cantonio. I'm sure he just got loose, but it looked funny just seeing him turn right in the middle of the corner to destroy the guy that's already spinning. Gonna get a look at what happened with Cantonio on the outside. Everything's fine, everything's fine. He reacts. Yeah, he just, I guess, I don't know why he unwound the wheel. He saw the contact in front of him and unwound the wheel. And that's what caused everything. Or at least caused him to get the right front damage. I think that really caused the loose condition, him unwinding the wheel. But either way, unfortunate for the 15, but he'll live to see another day, be able to get that thing fixed up a little bit. I know that he got loose, but that's not a... I don't know. What he did with the steering wheel was not like a loose thing. I don't know. It was very strange. Either way, doesn't really matter whether he was loose or not. He's got a little bit of right front damage, unfortunately, from hitting the outside wall through 3 and 4. You're going to have to come down and get that fixed. Still plenty of time left in this race, though. Not even at halfway. So plenty of time for a couple of guys involved in these accidents to come down pit road, get some damage repaired, and try to fight their way back up to the top. One lap to green here, as the iRacing pace car has decided that he is done pacing. He needs to refill that gas tank. He's been out for a fair share of laps, to be fair to him. 8 cautions in 65 laps here so far tonight. Joseph Kazi still leading the way. He's led all 65 so far. iRacing pace car dips down pit road once again, as the 24 leading the way, coming through 3 and 4. Little staggered start all throughout the grid, coming through the corner. Not the cleanest of run up to the line from everybody deeper in the pack, but Kazi makes the jump, coming down to the start-finish line. Easily takes the spot once again as Shelton up to that P2 spot. Darling, I'm still surprised he's got back up to 5th. I really don't know how the heck he's up to 5th. And we've got another one. A spinner out of turn number 2. I believe that was Josh Emerson. He was running 4th place, I believe, at the start-finish line. And unfortunately, he's dropped all the way to the back of the lead lap. Normal speed it. I don't need this slow-mo for a lazy spin out of turn 2. Yeah, he was definitely got a little nudge, but still, that's what it is what it is. Unfortunately for the 73, goes to the back of the pack. No damage, though, as the caution flag flies. But as we work our 9th caution of the evening, we're going to take our 2nd commercial break. Be sure to stick with us. On the other side of the commercial, we're going to try to get you to the finish under green.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series from Martinsville Speedway. Here on Green Flag TV. Whoa, that sounded like an Eevee in Pokemon. If anybody's ever watched the Pokemon anime, that sounded just like Eevee. But anyway, my goodness, this is evolving. Joseph Kazi coming through turns 3 and 4. Going to take the restart. Led every single lap so far. Leading another one, coming to 72. Chris Darling just about looked to the inside of the 83. Knew that nothing was on and that he couldn't break that late and make the corner, so just thought better of it. Stays in that 5th place position right behind TJ Allman. Levier way out of the groove for Levier into the fence. 3 wide coming out of turn 4 is never going to work. That's Michael Mooney into the outside fence. That's heavy contact, though. It's going to be tough for the 88, and him and the 15 are still side by side. They're going to be 3 wide coming out of turn 2. Nervy moments between the 15 and 88, lap after lap, corner after corner. Antonio and Mooney having a hard time here. Travis Ide just a little bit further ahead. Trouble coming out of turn number 4 there for Ide in the 62. Martin Plute in the 81 trying to come through as Travis Ide stuck on the outside. Josh Emerson in the 73 trying to make for that mistake under that last caution. He was running that 4th place position. I say mistake, he got tapped coming out of turn number 2. Sent around, trying to make up for that issue, I should say, after he got wrecked, but it's not really what you want to be doing. You don't want to be going backwards. Garcias able to take that position away from Morkrid. As these guys have had a couple issues tonight, Lindquist and McFadden. 22 way down on the bottom side of the racetrack as the 40's way out by the wall, giving each other plenty of room this time as the 40 gets by. Lindquist up to P8. Garcia's trying to take 9th away from the 22 of McFadden, but the caution flag is going to fly. Travis Ide into the outside wall in 3 and 4 for a 10th caution of the evening, and we've just passed the halfway point. Looking at Ide here this time. Coming down into turn 3 and 4. 51 behind. A little late on the brakes, maybe? Yes, definitely. No front bumper, but he's still able to get to Travis Ides. Spins about through 3 and 4. Probably, well, if he didn't go that slow getting it righted, maybe we wouldn't have gotten the caution, but unfortunately the caution flag does fly. And we are back under yellow for the 10th time tonight. Well, that's an interesting view. I feel like the 51 was going to make the corner, but it's still a little bit of a dive bomb. I don't know if Ide broke early. Maybe we can get a better view from this perspective. I think he might have broke a little early, and so the 51 felt entitled to dive down there. But at the end of the day, if you're not side by side with somebody getting down into the corner, typically they're gonna turn down to the bottom, kind of the vortex of danger thing there. So I don't really necessarily blame Ide. Perhaps the 51 could have tried to go around the outside with the later braking move, but just kind of got caught out. I think he was just very, very committed to the inside line. Unfortunately for Vincent, he's had a very rough go of it here tonight in his season opener. As we're looking at the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. It's going to be Corey Hutchinson in the 28, getting one of his laps back, putting him back on the lead lap. He was a couple laps down not too long ago. Now back on the lead lap. And I absolutely love that they have an animal hospital sponsor for the Lucky Dog. That is so perfect. Makes a whole lot more sense than a mattress store. Or a furniture store. Whatever the heck Aaron's was. You thought, okay, my producer thought they were a car thing, so I guess I'm going to have to figure out what the what the heck that was. I have no idea. Oh, I was right. Furniture, baby. So why did they come up with Lucky Dog? Like, where did that come from if they were a furniture store? What in the world? I understand that, but like, why? Why did they name the free pass the Lucky Dog? Like, why did they think that that was what they needed to spawn? I don't know. I'm asking too many questions for really no reason at this point. I'm trapped in my thoughts as we work our 10th caution here today. I don't like being trapped in my thoughts. There's some spiders up there. Joseph Kazi, though, led every single lap so far. Working lap number 82 for the 24. And I just don't think he's going to pit. I feel like he'd be a fool at this point to come down pit road and give up that track position. We've seen some other people do it. But as long as you're in that race lead, you can't give up that spot. Absolutely cannot from Kazi. Now, he could get very unlucky and get one of those long green flag runs. And some of these guys on new tires could come up and pass him. So there's definitely some risk in it, but I like keeping the track position. Green flag is out once again. Kazi easily leads us down into turn number 1. Hausman a little bit too late on the brakes on the outside. Able to keep it in the groove, just barely, but does lose a little bit of ground. To the 24, coming out of turn number 2. Oh, hard impact. That's Gracias. That's the top 3 driver. He's been up in the top 3 all night, and his left front tire is completely off that thing. Do that accident. He took some tires, went down pit road, took some tires, got stuck in the back of the pack, and unfortunately has junked it coming out of turn number 2. The yellow flag stays in the flagman's pocket, even with the number 1's left front tire completely broken off of that thing. Terrible luck there for Jason Gracias, especially at Martinsville. If you break anything to where you need a meatball at Martinsville, you're going 10 laps down. There's no chance for you. So, unfortunately, there for Gracias, he was clearly rapid, very, very quick, top 3 car. But with the cautions and everything, just could not quite get the chance to show his pace here tonight as we're looking at Levier getting passed by the 45, coming down to turn number 1. Josh McDougall diving down into the bottom of the corner, trying to take it. Late on the brakes, not quite late enough. They're still side by side coming down into turn number 3. He's going to try it once again. Levier, though, really deep on the outside, too deep, and that's going to give it to the 45. McDougall's going to take the spot, and Marty Plute's going to follow him through. Further up the racetrack, Allman trying to hold on a third from Pirog in the 46. Pirog had some issues earlier in the race as well. I mean, who hasn't at this point other than Joseph Kazi? My goodness. Weinmiller recovered as well up to 5th. Antonio in the 15, working around the outside of the 22, coming out of turn number 2. Easily able to take that spot. Vincent still just trying to log laps. What's just about a modified at this point. Allman, sketchy moment out of turn number 4. Able to keep it green, though. Keep it straight, keep it green. Oh, the 6 way up to the wall in turns 1 and 2 as well. Allman coming out of turn number 4. Did he get some help from Pirog there? He did not. Absolutely all by himself, and the caution flag is out. It's going to be Vincent in the 51. The modified just could not take it. We're going to see what happened here to Vincent to bring out our 11th caution of the evening, I believe. That's a 92, Tim Branson to the inside. Locks up the left front, takes out the left rear. The 51 just barely nudges him too. It wasn't even that big of contact, but that was. And absolutely destroyed him. And if he had a front bumper, it would have been knocked off there. So the 51 is definitely getting shot through the ringer here tonight. But to be fair to him, and I said this Tuesday night whenever I ran a Martinsville, or whenever I called a Martinsville race, I would never, ever in a million years make the first race that I run in a league, Martinsville. I would wait until the next week. Say, hold on, guys. We don't need to do this. We saw Gracias have that issue coming out of turn 2. That's Emerson getting into the left rear of Plute, which seems to have caused everything. And Gracias, did he, like, was that a reaction? I need an in-car camera for the 1. I need to see that steering wheel if I can. Look at it, Gracias coming through 1 and 2. Does he just react to what's in front of him or just get loose? It just looks like he gets loose. He doesn't do anything crazy with the wheel until then. Oh, was that a brake input? Wow. Producer, don't tell me there's a brake input there. That's what got him loose. I could not quite tell on my monitor, but that's interesting. Interesting. Definitely, that's him reacting to the wreck ahead, then, and maybe his brake bias is just set a little bit too far to the front. The rear end just got light whenever he tapped on the brakes coming out of the corner. Transferred all the way to the front, and that rear end just snapped around on him. As we're looking at the 51, who just barely gets nudged right here. Lazy spin, and then bam, head on into the fence. Tough break. Oh, Travis Hyde almost got destroyed there on the rejoin. I mean, it almost doesn't even look like they touched from that angle. But it does definitely wash up the racetrack just graze the left side of the 51. And even if they didn't touch, it would have been netcode anyway. So I would have put that on the, the guy that's on the bottom that didn't hold the line perfect. But fortunately there for Vincent, just being laps down, still getting, well, he's actually not laps down. He's a modified, but on the lead lap, but still just getting absolutely abused. The only cars not on the lead lap currently, all out of the race: Jason Garcias, Josh Emerson, Ben Mashburn. Or I should say out of the race, but behind the pit wall, at least, or on pit road. Growing in laps down every single time as these guys go by. Garcias 7 laps down, Emerson 9, and Mashburn 52. Mashburn's the only one to leave the server, though, I should point out. But the lights on the pace car are off once again. And Joseph Cosby is going to bring us back down to green on lap number 96. Kazi, Pirog, that's the front row. Lindquist, Weinmiller, row number 2. Joseph Kazi to the restart zone. Easily jumps first. Pirog ends up giving him plenty of a gap. Tries to get down in front of the 40. Late break from Pirog. Able to get it done, and he just rotates the center of the corner all the way to the back bumper of Joseph Kazi. What in the world did Pirog find through 1 and 2 that time? Lost it down the back straightaway, but was on rails through the center of the corner. Let's see if he can do that again through 1 and 2. Big stack up coming out of turn number 4. Oh, they're wrecking on the front straightaway. 6 gets spun around down the front stretch. He's reversing out of it. Trying not to get hit. I like that. The 92 loses his front bumper. Branson. Hyde, Branson, Milliner, all around on the front straightaway. Gonna get a look what happened. Branson on the inside. Levier just comes down the racetrack as the 92's getting his nose down there. Ends up saving it to some extent, but the 6 just loses it on the outside, gets that that right rear overcorrectedness, and the 92 looked like he got netcoded by the 6. And then Levier, basically the one that started it all, ends up getting the karmic retribution from the 92 coming back down at the end of the accident. But with that one down the front straightaway, that's going to be our 12th caution of the evening. So we're going to take our 3rd commercial break of the race as well after we check out what happened to Travis Hyde. See him get that thing slowed down right before we send this into commercial one more time for you guys. Hyde does a great job at the end of the day. Yeah, just a little bit of touch on the right front. That's no harm, no foul. We'll catch you guys on the other side of the break, though. We will go to the checkered flag whenever we come back. Welcome back to the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series from the Martinsville Speedway. Working our 12th caution of the evening, 49 laps to go. Coming to 48 this time by is Joseph Kazi, who's led every single lap so far. All 101 of them. He's going to come down to the stripe, lead another one, and bring us back under the green flag. Does he finally get a challenge here from Pirog or Lindquist or Weinmiller? Or does Joseph Kazi just lead this thing all the way down to the checkered flag? 48 laps to go until we find out. Joseph Kazi wrapping the bottom of 1 and 2. 46, 40. Pirog, Lindquist, side by side, coming out of turn number 2. Pirog wins that fight out on the outside. Typically, you see the third place driver get an opportunity with his restarts to take over that P2 spot, but sometimes you really don't want to because you just know the next caution is going to come out like it has right here. And you're going to get to restart again in third as we see... What? What just happened to Levier? What has happened? That's unbelievable. I've never seen that in my life. He's just turned it over on its roof at Martinsville going 10 miles an hour. What? What? There's no way I just saw that. He ramped up the apron, the banking on the apron, and it somehow flipped his car over. That's the most excited I've been all night. I cannot believe this. That was the slowest flip I've ever seen in my life. There's no way. That didn't even look, I mean, what? Can we have this on replay for the rest of the race? Like, I just want to watch this over and over again. Oh, he didn't even hit the curb! He didn't even hit the curb! I thought the curb sent him over. He didn't even hit it. What? I'm just so lost. I mean, dude. Okay, I'll call iRacing a game because, I mean, yeah, it's a simulator, but I play it as a game, right? As a video game. But you take the simulator aspects and you understand, man, this is a simulator. But then you see something like that, and that doesn't look very simulator to me! That's awesome! Andrew Levier with the style points of the century. I mean, what in the world? I just cannot stop thinking about this. He doesn't even hit the curb! I'm so lost, man. What kills me is that he's hitting the throttle like it's gonna do anything. He was revving that thing up after it flipped. Oh, man. Well, that made my night. We would probably submit that to the iRacing Not Top 10 if I didn't just say that it didn't look very simulator. They probably wouldn't put that on there with that commentary. And that's just, every angle is just funnier to me, man. I just can't. Andrew Levier finding out a way to do something I've never seen happen before on the iRacing service. I mean, that's the what? Oh man, it is the Twisted Steel wreck of the race. That is easily the Twisted Steel wreck of the race. Unreal. That's the Twisted Steel wreck of the century. Andrew Levier. I mean, that was creative. That was very, very creative. Totally just going to give him total credit for it, like he meant to do it. And even though Levier didn't mean to do it, somebody who's meaning to do what they're doing right now, Joseph Kazi, up at the front of the field, leading every single lap. 41 laps to go this time. Bias takes the green flag. Easily takes the race lead over Pirog. Maybe his best restart of the night is the 40. Also got a really, really bad jump for that third place spot. Michael Moody coming out in 5th place. Yep, 5th place right in front of Martin Plute. Day one got a little nervy coming out of turn number 2. Holds on to that thing. Still a 2x2 all the way throughout the field from about halfway back. Oh, and we're wrecking out of turn number 4 again. Gracias. Branson. A couple other guys involved as well. Emerson, a little bit further back. McFadden. I mean, goodness gracious. Coming out of turn 4 this time. Eyes are on McFadden. No, actually on Shu a little bit ahead in that 3. Gets loose through 3 and 4 on the outside. And everybody on the inside, honestly, just had to avoid him. 22 turns hard left to try to avoid and just makes a 3-car sandwich down onto the inside fence between those guys. Yeah, and here what's happening, the 3's just, he's utilizing that outside line, but, if you're taking that wide run, you're going to be carrying more speed on the outside because it's a wider turning radius. It's just simple physics. But once you get to the exit of the corner, you've got a lot of wheel turn into that thing, and because you're going faster than the inside line, you have more torque on the rear end. The rear end is more liable to come out. The more throttle you have in it, with more wheel, the more likely that right rear tire slides out from under you and wrecks. And that's exactly what we saw from Shu there. He's just really, really rapid around the outside of the racetrack, honestly going a little too quick, and just turns the wheel turns the wheel heavily with a lot of gas put into it. And it's going to spin around every time on the outside like that. But we're going to take a look at our upcoming shows here in the or for Green Flag TV, I should say. April 6th, that's going to be in 2 nights. On Saturday night, TNGG IEL Truck Series round number 5 from the Watkins Glen International Speedway, 7:55 p.m. Eastern. You got to be there. Watkins Glen is so good. April 7th, Sunday, Classic IndyCar Series round number 2 from the Sonoma Raceway, 1:50 p.m. Eastern. Might be one of the last times you can see the old Sonoma Raceway here on... Okay, Joseph Causey is stuck on the inside fence. If this is a hardware issue like we saw in the Beer League last night. Did he hit this kill switch? He hit the kill switch. He's only sitting at 300 RPM. I don't know why he hit it. Typically, you would have a button to refresh it back on, but I will tell you right now, I don't, personally. So if I hit it, it would be ruined. Well, did he tow it? Oh, he's still blinking. What in the world is going on with the 24? I mean, they can just kick him from the session. Okay, he has just towed. So we don't know what the heck has just happened to the guy that's led every single lap. So the guy that led the first 113 laps is now not going to win the race. And we don't know why. But regardless, throws this thing wide open. Now Devin Pirog up in the race lead in the 46. I'm sure he's never inherited a race lead that he probably feels like he should never, ever have in quite a way before. I mean, just so weird here. For Pirog, ending up finding himself up on the front row. Lindquist in the second place spot. Shane Weidmiller in third. Michael Mooney fourth. Martin Pluth fifth. Christopher Darling sixth. Those are your contenders here at the front of the field in the first 3 rows. 35 laps to go, coming to 34. What can Devin Pirog do in the 46? Looks pretty good from Pirog here through 1 and 2. Good run coming out of the corner, also for the 46. Building a little bit of a gap here to Shane Weidmiller behind him. Weidmiller deep on the brakes, trying to take it from Lindquist, but we've got our 15th caution. That's Travis Hyde stuck against the inside fence, and the 6 of Doug Milner as well involved. Looking to Hyde way on the outside. McFadden 3 wide all of a sudden coming out of the corner. The 6 had a really good run through the center of the corner, but ultimately makes it 3 wide as the 62 was way out to the outside. And unfortunately, that's the accident we get coming through the corner. The accident probably doesn't happen if Hyde just runs the bottom of the racetrack. Typically your single file, fastest way around Martinsville is typically the bottom, so it would make sense. But, well, I say he's single file. He's got somebody way to his inside, but feel like you could have blocked off the 22, I suppose is what I'm saying. And then they don't get to that 3 wide scenario, but it's just weird coming out of turn number 2. Stan Hausman with a secondary incident coming down into turn number 3 potentially. Under the 102. He does sketch it out just a little. Okay, never mind. He does spin it. Tags the inside fence. He's going to lose a couple spots since he stopped 2. Probably not too much damage to the left front, but definitely a strange incident coming through 3 and 4 under caution. Jason Shu was the cause of, man, was it the last caution or the caution before that? Either way, getting his lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. Driver of the number 3. Gotta say, I really like the Earnhardt paint scheme, making it blue. I've never seen it blue, but man, that looks really, really good. Like, it makes me wonder if he actually ran that. Like, maybe not. I think I see a football player on the side, so he's probably put his foot like favorite football player down there or something. So never mind. Come on, Shu. Don't be putting your football player on a Dale Earnhardt. Never mind. That is a. Okay, never mind. That's a scratch, and it looked like a football player to me somehow. I don't know what's going on tonight, boys. He has damage from a wreck, and I thought it was a guy wearing a football helmet throwing a football. So, I don't know. I'm definitely seeing things at this point in the event. 120 laps through, 30 to go. Devin Pirog up in the race lead. Gonna do a quick little race rundown, or field rundown, as we come to 1 to go here at the line. Devin Pirog, Shane Weinmiller up in the front row. Emmett Lindquist running in the 3rd place spot. Martin Plute in 4th. Michael Mooney 5th. Christopher Darling in 6th. Kevin Cantonio in 7th. Mike Morkert in 8th. Josh McDougall in 9th. Aaron Mack top 10. TJ Allman 11th. Ryan Shelton 12th. Michael McReynolds in 13th. Stan Hausman in 14th. Josiah Vincent in 15th with Mark McFadden 16th. Doug Milliner in 17th. Jason Shu in 18th. Your last car on the lead lap. Everybody else behind that is multiple laps down. Travis Hyde is your first car a lap down. He is 2 laps down in the 19th place spot. Devin Pirog coming to take the green flag. 28 laps to go this time by. Weinmiller got a good jump, holding on to that 2nd place spot this time. The 40 trying to get under him, coming out of turn number 2. Give himself a chance down into turn number 3 to get that 2nd spot back. Lindquist under Weinmiller, trying to get 2nd back away from him. But the caution flag is going to come out and prevent him from having an opportunity. That is your 16th caution of the evening, as Garcias is around in 3. Coming down to turn 3, Garcias just turned right. So I do have my voice chat open, and Garcias did key up the mic and said, my spotter told me I was clear. I don't know why his spotter told him he was clear. Actually, he was clear. Never mind. That angle told me a totally different story. He's clear, but you can't pull up in front of somebody in the braking zone. And I feel like maybe he did. I think that I want to. The 31 is the one that got into the back bumper of him, Aaron Mack, I believe. But I really think that Garcia's pulled across in the braking zone. And if you're a road course racer, you know dang well you don't do that. And the corners into Martinsville are hairpins. Yeah, I mean Levier turned left a little bit, but man, I don't know. That's a weird one. That's so weird. Either way, I think it was a little bit of both, to be honest. I think Garcias faded high, and I think that 31 of Aaron Mack faded down just a little bit under brake. I mean, he hit the brakes and the car turned left, so relatively natural. But I do think that, unfortunately, Jason Garcias just kind of faded high, and you can't turn over in front of somebody and then brake, unfortunately. I say unfortunately. I don't really know why, because I mean it's kind of obvious what happens whenever you turn over in front of somebody and brake, right? You're gonna get rear-ended. Pirog up in the race lead here, working 24 laps to go. Joseph Kazi has disconnected from the server, so that is our second retirement of the night. Joseph Kazi, the man that led 113 laps on the night, the first 113 laps, and then under caution. Has a little bit of a blinking problem, and then goes down to the bottom of the racetrack and just stops it, turns off the car, leaves it there for 2 laps under caution, and then leaves. So, straight's there from Kazi, but it does open the door for Pirog here in the 46. Or for Weinmiller, or for Lindquist, or for Plute, or for Darling, any of these guys who really didn't think they were going to do it. Did not think they were going to get this race victory. Well, now all of a sudden, all these guys in the top 5 have a huge opportunity, and none as big as Devin Pirog in the 46 at the front of the field. Number through 3 and 4, coming to 22 to go. Devin Pirog, what can he do this time against Weinmiller? Can he hold him off? All clean through 1 and 2. Pirog all by himself down the back straightaway, side by side for second. Lindquist trying to get it away from Weinmiller on the inside. Even on the brakes through the corner. And still even all the way down the front straightaway. Neither one of these guys have an inch on the other. Lindquist a little late on the brakes. Ooh, the 15. Cantonio gets shuffled out wide by Mooney, and then he wrecks it coming down the back straightaway. Hard in the outside wall goes to 15. Mooney misses the braking zone just a little bit, moves the 15 up, and then just again, he starts coming down the racetrack, and once you're loose coming down, if you overcorrect to the right, I've said it a million times tonight, you're not saving it. The next gen car doesn't let you save it. You gotta get way out of the gas, gotta get on the brakes. And we're just not really seeing that here tonight. We're gonna go ahead and take another commercial break tonight. Working our 17th caution of the evening. Stick with us. We will definitely be going to the checkers under the next one.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. Devin Pirog leading us back down to the Geico restart zone. What in the world is going on for third place? Okay, somebody was morphed inside of somebody else for third, but regardless, we're fine now. Devin Pirog's out in the race lead by himself. This race is just, it's got no chill. I don't understand what in the world is going on. Somehow we have two guys phasing inside of each other for third place. Either way, Chris Darling has found himself up to a side-by-side battle for that second place position against Emmett Lindquist. It looks like he's going to take it. Down to the bottom in 3 and 4, or sorry, in 1 and 2. Chris Darling's just kind of been stuck in that 5th place position here for the last, I don't know, forever in this race, and all of a sudden he's spotted himself up to that 2nd place spot. Could he possibly give himself an opportunity to win this thing? Oh, maybe not. He's getting loose coming out of turn 4. The first guy to save it all night. I have not seen somebody dog walk it down the straightaway like that and hang on to it the entirety of the evening. Chris Darling did it. Great job, Darling. And Weinmiller's gone again. That's a little sketchy. The blinking from the 9 is very, very twitchy here. Darling trying to figure it out. Plute almost got to the back of Darling. Weinmiller, after he makes the pass, completely blows the corner next time by into turn number 1 and gives the position back to the 11. Stan Hausman trying to make up a spot. He's going to get it. As I believe that was Morkard, just ran way, way wide. Mooney pinching the 31 down to the bottom of the racetrack. Trying not to give him any room. The 31 trying to get the pass made. Just hard side-by-side racing, but, I mean, why are we not giving room? The 31 runs him up the racetrack. The 88 runs him back down and pinches him down to the corner, and somehow we have an accident elsewhere. I thought for sure it was going to be those two, but instead it's Stan Hausman in turn 4. Oh, and is that Morkard? So Morkard and Hausman involved in our 18th caution. I mean, this race literally would have had everything if he would have just whipped that thing around and hit our race leader with his rear end coming around. I would have lost my mind, man. I really would have. That was Hausman coming through 3 and 4. Morkard's way up the racetrack, isn't he? Yeah, he's 2 positions in front. No. Oh, Morkard's way behind. What happened to Morkard? How does he spin out and halfway down this front straightaway? Oh, he's dodging the 83. Yeah, that would do it. That's very understandable. Oh, man, what a job keeping that out of the wall. Okay, well, he hit it with the right rear. But like, initially, that was pretty impressive. And then he forgot to. And then he really wanted to stay on the lead lap. Ends up not being that close. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And it's not that close. But it's just sketchy seeing it. Especially whenever we've seen so much contact tonight. Goodness. Allman just barely made contact there. Completely changed his course of direction by about 40 degrees to the right. Really made that very strange for Morkard coming through as well. Checking out Pirog, just see maybe how much he freaked out coming out of turn 4. Yeah, guy doing a little flick spin in front of you whenever you're the race leader with under 10 laps to go can be a little nerve-wracking. Pirog did the right thing, though, driving down the inside. Driving where he was. Driving where Morkard was, I should say, anyway. Looks like we're going to have, what, 5 laps to go on this restart if we get the 1 to green this time? We're not getting the 1 to green this time, so I think we're going to have 4 to green whenever we eventually do go back racing. Very crazy running order coming to the end of this thing. Devin Pirog, Emmett Lindquist, Christopher Darling in the podium positions currently. Shane Weinmiller has worked his way up to the 4th place spot. Martin Plute in 5th. Aaron Mack up to 6. Seen him in a lot of tussles tonight. Michael Mooney in 7th. Every time I read somebody's new name on here, I want to say something about a recovery drive or something about how they've spun out and done a great job getting back through the field. But then I remember every single car out here has some damage. And every single car has spun out. So everybody's done a great job recovering, I guess is how I need to look at it. But Ryan Shelton, who started up on the front row back in 8th, I really thought Shelton was going to have a better night tonight. Not really looking like it's going to be all that great for him. Still top 10, not too bad. Josh McDougall in 9th, and Doug Milliner. How's that your top 10 as we have this restart with 4 laps to go? Can we get the white flag, or are we gonna have a couple more restarts on this thing? Devin Pirog through 3 and 4 under caution for possibly the final time of the evening. 4 laps to go, this time by Devin Pirog under the green flag, and we're green. Pirog drives it in deep into turn 1, misses the bottom a ways. Able to drive it back down side by side for second, trying to battle, see who has the opportunity to take on a race leader. Devin Pirog, it's not going to be the 40. Lindquist way too hard into the 99. Ryan Shelton just went hard to the outside wall as well. And they're wrecking out of turn 4 even after the cautions come out. Wyatt Miller's been spun. And we're going to have overtime attempt number 1. Honestly, there were like 3 different accidents. Coming into turn 3 and out of turn 4 here. Shelton to the inside of Mooney. Did Mooney get him in his right rear as he was coming through? Like, did he pinch him too low and tag him? I don't know. There's been too many times where somebody has the inside line and somebody just drives them down to the curb. And it's been very, very aggressive by the driver on the outside more times than not tonight. Which I know that was a late dive, but you just can't pinch that early in the corner. And Wyatt Miller just loses it coming out of the corner even after the cautions come out. Just too high again, just too high coming out of the corner, too much wheel put into it. Trying to get on the throttle because you're about to get on the straightaway, so you need 100% throttle. He's going to loop it every time. And that's not even a late move from Shelton. He's there the entire time. And I really think he got tapped in the right rear because Mooney pinched him too heavy. From that's just what it feels like to me. Maybe we can get a better view here this time on board for Mooney. Obviously, I mean, he's to his inside, though. You cannot fade that low inside. I think it ended up being net code. I really do, because that was such an unnatural twitch. I don't know. That's tough. Maybe we can get a better view from right behind. Well, what was that smoke? What was that? Was that smoke not smoke from contact, or? Man, I don't know. Either way, Shelton then ends up just spinning it out. It's been a hectic one here at Martinsville, and I'm really not surprised. I told you guys in the pre-race that Virginia was not going to be for lovers tonight. It was going to be for haters. I think everybody in here hates each other. Richmond was a hell of a race last week, but there were some bent fenders and some hurt feelings. Tonight, goodness gracious. I mean, the cars are totaled, and your feelings have been stomped on. So I'm sure everybody's feeling some type of way tonight. And I imagine most guys are wanting to get through the screen white checkered relatively quickly and put this one to bed. I'm going to start a petition to remove Martinsville from the iRacing service. Could this be the final restart? Overtime restart number 1. Devin Pirog has found himself onto the front row with 2 laps to go. Can Chris Darling do anything from the outside, or can Martin Plute maybe give somebody a bumper and run to win it from 3rd? Devin Pirog coming out of turn number 4 in the 46. Coming to the green flag. Will this be the last time he sees it tonight? No, it won't. first time in my life I've seen a barrel roll at Martinsville Speedway. And it was in the same race that we saw somebody flip onto their lid moving at 5 miles an hour. So definitely some crazy stuff we're seeing here at Martinsville. And this is just like, I'm going to wait to say it until I see exactly what happened. Yeah. It's exactly like every other wreck we have seen come out of turn number 4, which that's phenomenal. I got to be honest. That's cool as hell. But it's just like every single wreck that we've seen come out of turn 4, where you're just running way too high, out of the zone, out of the groove, and you've got wheel put into it, coming out of the corner, and you're having to put throttle into it. The only difference was this was coming to a restart. Why are we at the fence? You had to put that much wheel into it because you were running the fence. So, I mean, I don't know. Why would you run the fence on the restart? Look at how much wheel! Look at how much wheel he's got put into this thing, man. And then you hit the throttle as soon as the green flag comes out, but you've got 70 degrees of wheel put into it. I mean, you're gonna wreck it every time. I can't believe how high it got. You can tell he's trying to time it, trying to get jump or something. I don't know. It's like a mini Ryan Preece. Dad, can we stop at McDonald's? I want Ryan Preece. No, we have Ryan Preece at home. And that was the Ryan Preece at home right there. Oh boy. Apologies, my delusion has gotten to me. I have been up since 4 a.m. this morning, so you will have to cut me a little bit of slack. I appreciate that. My producer said he will cut me some slack, so that's all that matters at the end of the day. He's the one signing my paychecks. The fans at home can say whatever they want. The slack has been given. Just kidding. We're going to have a great finish here. Even, no matter what, for whatever reason, even on iRacing, typically, even if you have these caution fests, you'll still somehow get something crazy at the end, some type of crazy finish. Which, to be fair, we have gotten some crazy. We just had somebody flip on a restart. And we had somebody flip moving 5 miles an hour. So, we've definitely gotten plenty crazy tonight. As we work our 20th caution of the evening, second green, white, checkered. But this time, can Devin Pirog do it? Can he hold on? Can we make it one lap? My bet is no. Devin Pirog go coming through 3 and 4. Under caution, perhaps, for the final time. Side by side with Chris Darling. Who's it going to be? Coming down to the green flag. Barney the flag man flies the green flag. Devin Pirog flies down into turn number 1. Pirog easily clears side by side for second. Plute Darling down into turn number 3. Can they get through this set of corners without an accident? Nope. They're wrecking down the back straightaway. Caution's out. Third green, white, checkered. Oh, do they only have 2 green, white, checkers? Just kidding. That was our final caution. That we only have 2 green, white, checkers here in the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. My apologies. I am just a fill-in announcer. I figured it was 3. But Devin Pirog, is going to be the one to win it on the pace car. Honestly, pretty fitting. 21 cautions on the evening. The race winner tonight is going to be the driver of the pace car. Just kidding. Devin Pirog comes through and wins the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series in the 46. That beautiful Discord machine. As we look at an accident, what happened on the back straightaway? Shoe on the outside. Not anything to do with Shoe. I mean, he gets involved, but it's not his fault. Ryan Shelton and the 102 Michael McReynolds. Looked like McReynolds made a little bit of a mistake there, and Levier was at a super speedway entering turn number 3. Pace car comes down pit road here as the 46 is going to start doing his victory donuts. Devin Pirog, the race winner from Martinsville Speedway here in the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. Okay. That was a burnout that happened. Devin Pierhog, the winner of the race tonight. We're going to run into our final race results, though. And Pierhog was your race winner. Second place. Man, somebody was making out down on pit road. Two cars were just pushing up against each other. Chris Darling in second, Martin Plute third, Aaron Mack fourth, Emmett Lindquist in fifth. Josh McDougall going to finish in the sixth place spot. Michael Mooney in seventh, Kevin Cantonio eighth, Josiah Vinson. What? Josiah Vinson somehow ninth. How? Stan Hausman in 10th, Mark McFadden in 11th, Jason Shue in 12th, Shane Weinmiller in 13th, Mike Borkert in 14th, and Travis Hyde in 15th. Ryan Shelton finished 16th, Michael McReynolds 17th, Doug Milliner in 18th, Tim Allman 19th, Corey Hutchison top 20. Andy Levier in 21st, Josh Emerson 22nd, Jason Gracias in 23rd, 24th is Tim Branson, 25th is Joseph Kazi, and 26th, Ben Mashburn. But I do believe we're going to jump straight into our post-race interviews, and we're going to try to interview our race winner. If we can find Devin Pierhog in the Discord. He better be in Discord, considering he's got Discord on the front of that hood. And we do have him. Devin, race winner tonight. What did you think of the race?
I think it was it was very interesting, to say the least.
It did keep me on the edge of my seat. I would say that, and we saw some crazy flips that I would have never expected to see at Martinsville. But I've got to talk about you because you did win the race. So big congratulations, first of all, for putting it on the top step of the podium. What were you thinking whenever Kazi stopped it on the inside of the racetrack and then disconnected? Were you thinking, oh wow, I'm gonna win this race?
Yeah, no. He stopped, and my mind was blown. I'm like, there's no way. Did he run out of gas? Like, what happened? Like, from that moment forward, I was nervous.
Well, you had the cautions fall your way at the end of the day too. You know, being on the front row and being the control car on these restarts at Martinsville just seems to be such a big advantage. And you use it to your advantage the entire time over the last 35 laps. Just every restart, you seem to get a little bit better and better, and we're always clearing the guy on the outside down to turn one. Are restarts something that you work on a lot? And you know, did you expect them to be helping you so much here at the end of this one?
Restarts, I don't work on restarts much because I'm usually never towards the front. But it definitely helped a lot. Just those 35 laps practice of getting up there, that helped.
Well, Devin, big congratulations on winning this thing, man. I mean, it was a heck of a race. And like I said, there was a lot of random insaneness that went on through the middle of it, and you're the one that comes home or comes through on the other side as the victor, holding off Christopher Darling, Martin Plute, and all these other guys on restart after restart after restart. So big congratulations to you for holding on. Are there any shout outs you can give here at the end of this after you have won your first race of the season?
Mainly, I just want to shout out Shane, man. He, me and him stuck together at the beginning, and he pushed through, and I stuck with him, and yeah, me and Shane.
Well, big congrats once again, Devin. Congrats to you and Shane for just helping each other out as well. And you know, it seems to be good team racing between the two of you. So congrats on picking up the victory here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway, and looking forward to seeing what you can do for the rest of the season.
Yep, thank you.
Alrighty, that was our race winner, Devin Pierhog, in the 46. Great job by him bringing that thing home at the top step of the podium. Next up, we're going to be talking to our second place finisher, Christopher Darling. Should be standing by. Chris Darling, do we have a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Chris, that was a race that happened. And you finished second in said race. What did you think of it?
Yeah, we finished. I don't really know what kind of what I can really give you on this interview. There wasn't a whole lot going on. It was a pretty awful race. So I mean, we'll get through it. We always do, but hopefully next week is a lot better. Honestly, I was asking the guys in Discord what we thought that you guys would say in the interview, and nobody really knew. Well, we weren't sure if you were going to ask us how the pacing was or what was going to happen. So,
well,
listen, my car, the first 50 laps of caution, car was really loose on entry. It was really hard in second gear the whole time at 35 miles an hour. Kicked it up to about 40, got a little tight, so I decided the last 50 to 75 laps, I'd keep it in third under yellow and go about 37 miles an hour. It really tightened it up. It felt real comfortable there.
See, I'm glad that you had the answer lined up for me just in case I asked. And I wish I would have, but I've been kind of racking my brain thinking I don't even know what I want to ask these guys after that one. I called a race Tuesday that, I'll be honest, was very equal. So I don't think that this is an indictment on the league or the drivers in the league at all. This is Martinsville and iRacing, and this is unfortunately just what you get every single time you come to this godforsaken racetrack.
Yeah, it's a tough track, and we already had a few things to clean up prior to this at Richmond. So I mean, it was just hard to come here knowing we had stuff to clean up, and I don't know. Next week's Texas, so it's definitely going to feel a lot better next week.
Absolutely. Crazy to be thinking about Texas as being a reprieve, but with the short tracks on iRacing, they can just be a little crazy. Let's just say the least. But Richmond was a very, very fun race last week. I expect Texas to be pretty daggum entertaining for you guys. I think y'all are going to put on a heck of a show next week from the Texas Motor Speedway. Chris, congrats on the P2 finish, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the year. I think you've got some good speed in that 11, and I was honestly surprised that you weren't up towards the front a little bit earlier in this thing, running about the P5 position, I believe, towards the end of it. So maybe the cautions just weren't helping you out too much, but did you think there was anything you could have done different to maybe get to Devon under one of these restarts?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to tell when we weren't really getting any green flags, so we couldn't really figure out where to run really. But no, he was just, once you're up there, even with all the laps since he pit, like, it really didn't matter. Tires weren't an issue, fuel wasn't an issue. There's too many marbles in the high lane. It was just hard to do anything. So it is what it is. Definitely good job by Devin staying out of the chaos, staying out of trouble, and getting up to the front. So.
Yep, difficult conditions on the racetrack this evening, but nonetheless, you brought it home P2, able to salvage a good position here tonight. Congratulations on finishing on the podium, Chris.
Thanks, Austin.
All right, that was our second place finisher, Christopher Darling. Next up, we're going to be talking to third place. Martin Plute should be somewhere around. We can find him. Believe I have. Martin Plute, third place finisher. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good, Martin. Can you just kind of walk us through your race, and how did you end up finding yourself up on the podium at the end of it? Because I felt like it's a little bit of a crapshoot.
I don't even know. I mean, that was kind of, crapshoot's a good word for it. It was just being in the right lane at the right time under these restarts, and I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to describe whatever that was. So
do you like Martinsville whenever you're getting to drive it solo?
No.
Okay. Well then,
no.
big congrats on third. This probably went as good as it could have for you.
I mean, it's fine. It's hard to get. Tonight especially, there's no flow to it, so no real strategy, no anything really. So it just made it tough to get into a rhythm and try to actually fight with people. But it was third after the first lap that I had. Not bad.
Well, yeah, you're talking. Sorry, excuse me. It ended up being a little bit of a messy race. You couldn't get that rhythm going, but regardless, you still have to find a way to get the best finish possible for yourself and put yourself up in a decent spot for the points. And especially with y'all's regular season being so short, it is very important for y'all to still finish good in these races that may go a little strangely. So with only 7 of y'all making the playoffs and you finishing third here tonight, how are you feeling about making that 7-player chase here in a couple weeks?
It's going to be tough. I'm going to miss the cutoff race, that last race in the regular season. So it's going to be tough. I'm going to have to build a buffer. After tonight, I might be pretty close to the cutoff, and then I'll have to start building a buffer at Texas and Dega and stuff. So we'll see. I'm not optimistic, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, Martin, good luck going forward with that. And unfortunately, you have to miss that race. But like I said, good luck, and still plenty of time for you to make up those points. And we'll see you next weekend at Texas to see if you can maybe make it a couple of steps higher on the podium.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, at least I'm missing Darlington, so I would have finished last anyway. So it's all good.
At least it's a track you don't like.
Exactly.
All right, Martin. Congratulations on P3, buddy.
All right, thanks. See you guys.
See ya. That was our third place finisher, Martin Plute. Hey, congratulations to Martin on that podium finish. But we're going to go ahead and skedaddle on out of here from Martinsville Speedway. Our plane might have left us, so we're having to rent a car all the way back home. But For Nolan Rimple, my producer, I have been Austin Edstrom, and for everybody here at the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series, we'd like to thank you for watching. And we will see you next time when we go racing!